And now, the general weather around Alaska.
All right, up to the north here, there are winter weather advisories here on the central Arctic coast, and that's flanked by blizzard warnings there for Barter Island, Kaktovik, and from Point Ley down to Cape Lisburne there for whiteout conditions and strong northeast winds. And here, a winter storm watch out for the Seward Peninsula, St. Lawrence Island, Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, and Nunivak Island areas for the incoming storm that rolls in tomorrow night and into Thursday, or into Tuesday. And from there, satellite imagery showing just a lot of clouds here south of the ice edge over the Bering Sea into the Aleutians. This front starting to increase the moisture here around Adak and Atka, along with the winds. And that's the system that's going to be pulling northeastward into the Bering Sea. Otherwise, a lot of clouds here over the central interior. There is a light snow from western Cook Inlet, the Alaska Range, right on up across the western Susitna Valley, all the way up and toward the Brooks Range there, with mostly just clouds, mid and upper Tanana Valley and down into the Prince William Sound area, and some also clouds streaming into the northern panhandle. But areas of rain fell across mainly the central and northern southeast coast today. Light rain, a little bit more showery, lighter precipitation down to the south, and still a wet day for the North Gulf Coast into Prince William Sound. On the chart, here's that trough in the central interior, bringing the areas of light snow associated with the areas of light snow. A few flurries around Selawik, possibly, or Buckland, Shishmaref, and those areas there, but nothing too significant. And strong winds, 40 to 50 miles an hour on the western Arctic coast out of the east-northeast there, associated with that tighter gradient. Much lighter winds here with a fair amount of clearing over the western interior areas. But again, clouds on the increase south of the ice edge, so cloudy around the Pribilofs on down toward the Aleutians. And this warm front keeping it wet for the North Gulf Coast, and that spread more moisture into the panhandle today than what you saw yesterday. And here's the system out here to the south of the Aleutians with bringing increasing winds and precipitation there. That'll continue tonight as it pushes up to the northeast there, lifting north of Adak and Atka. And so precipitation become more mixed and a little more showery. We'll look for the winds to increase and temperatures rising. May go to all rain by late tonight for the eastern Aleutians. And that'll be bearing down on the Pribilof Islands late tonight and toward tomorrow morning. Stays pretty nice over the northern Bering Sea. And this trough edging westward a little bit there, so that's going to keep some light snow associated with it from the Kobuk, possibly Koyukuk Valley. And again, pretty light precipitation here right on down into the northern Kuskokwim Valley and possibly into Cook Inlet. And with the moisture with this low center, look for cloudy skies with areas of light precipitation across south central Alaska. Heavier, though, down along Homer, Seldovia, a little more persistent and a little heavier, but still not too bad. Resurrection Bay, periods of rain for the North Gulf Coast, Prince William Sound into Whittier and Portage, and areas of precipitation mostly over the mountainous terrain of the Copper River Basin, and this will stay south of the Alaska Range. Just mostly cloudy skies for the upper Tanana Valley, northward there to the Arctic coast, and showers mainly over the northern two-thirds of the southeast coast. And for tomorrow, still a weak trough here right along the coast of the northern panhandle, in along the North Gulf Coast. That's going to keep it unsettled and damp with cloudy skies all through this area, but dry over the southern southeast coast. High pressure starting to develop here over the interior, and just a lot of leftover moisture is going to keep a lot of clouds in over the interior with areas of light snow here along the Alaska Range, possibly into the White Mountains, and a little more extensive area up over the Koyukuk Valley to the Brooks Range, and that lifting on out to the North Slope and the Arctic coast there. And a break right through here, improving conditions here over Bristol Bay. Could be a mid and high level cloud associated with this big storm out to the west there, but that's going to bring increasing precipitation to the Yukon and Kuskokwim Delta coastal areas. Definitely Nunivak Island, snow and blowing snow there. Snow and blowing snow for the Pribilofs. Rain and gusty southeast winds, gale force winds, so gusts to 60 miles an hour here for the eastern Aleutians of the Alaska Peninsula. And then colder air pulling southward on the back side of this low will bring areas of snow and gusty north winds into the west central Aleutians, about Adak westward to Kiska Island. And looking ahead to Tuesday, high pressure, especially aloft, developing here over the interior. And that's going to push the moisture back off the coast here. New low developing right in this area. Pretty snappy low here with a good gradient associated with it. So look again for gale force winds with gusts of 60 miles an hour for the Alaska Peninsula as that rolls on in. And this low starting to weaken and pull back to the west a little bit there. So looks like, let's see, St. Lawrence Island, snow and blowing snow there. Some snow and blowing snow with that warm front extending in across the northern Seward Peninsula to the northwest coast. A break here, Adak and Atka, and then more precipitation coming into the western Aleutians with a weaker system. Otherwise, clear skies here for the central interior. This area out here, just a lot of mid and high level cloudiness, but clear skies from the Arctic coast right on down into the North Gulf Coast. Could be a few clouds here over the eastern Alaska range, maybe the Copper River Basin, but even clearing out here over the Panhandle with this trough axis off the coast. That'll give a light offshore flow, which hopefully will keep the clouds out to the west. And for the lows down that way tonight, upper 30s and near 40, otherwise 20s and lower 30s here for the south central Alaska area, and 0 to 5 around the Tanana Valley, but up to 13 for the low and mid-teens for North Waytok and Eagle, and then below 0 for the North Slope Arctic coast, below 0 Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta, 5 to 10 for Bristol Bay, mid-20s Kodiak, and in the 20s lower 30s for the Aleutians. Highs for tomorrow. Behind the warm front, will rise into the mid to upper 30s for the Pribilof Islands, lower 40s for the Alaska Peninsula eastern Aleutian areas, still below 0 but not as far for the Arctic coast and North Slope areas, and temperatures rising 20s to mid to upper 30s there, 37 forecast high at Eagle, otherwise about 30 around Nenana, and mid 30s for south central Alaska, 45 to 50 for the southeast coast. And for Tuesday morning lows, upper 20s, lower 30s, northern Panhandle with more clearing showing up, otherwise in the 30s. Teens, Copper River Basin, 15 to 25 for south central Alaska, upper 20s, Kodiak Island, and below 0 here in the Tanana Valley, northward to the Arctic coast, and a little above 0 for St. Lawrence Island, mid 30s for the Pribilofs, mid to upper 30s for the eastern Aleutians. And then highs under maximum sunshine on Tuesday. Upper 30s to mid 40s, maybe even some areas a little warmer here for south central Alaska, mid 30s to near 40 for the Copper River Basin, and upper 30s to lower 40s in the northern Panhandle, closer to 50 in the south, but above 0 temperatures now all the way into the North Slope and just a little below 0 there for the central and eastern Arctic coast.